Please welcome SVP Product Management, Agentforce Marketing, Salesforce, Eric Zenz.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So I am so excited to be back here again with you all in Chicago. Some people say that Chicago is a music city. Some people say that it's a food city. But today, Chicago is a marketing city. All right, everybody's energized. All right. So worried about that post-party letdown, but very good, very good. So, and it's such an exciting moment for marketers. And it's because AI is transforming how customer engagement works and how we as marketers need to work. And we are excited to share some tools and some practices with you to teach you and your brand how to thrive in this moment. Now, before we get into it, I'm going to be, today's presentation is it's a little bit about vision, but it's also about news you can use. We're here with tools that you can use as marketing practitioners in every marketing organization, large and small, B2B, B2C. There is something here for everyone. Now, before I begin, I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here and for continuing to be a part of this community. Connections is such a special time to connect with so many thought leaders from so many brands. Why, just yesterday, we saw some tremendous creativity around AI agents that our community is developing. And I want to thank everybody that participated in the Agentic Marketing Showdown. The innovation there was truly incredible. But it's a competition, and there has to be a winner. So, for an agent that minimized revenue loss by connecting customer signals as well as inventory to predict returns, I think I got it all right, please join me in congratulating the team from Accelerize 360. Stand and be recognized. Great work. All right. So yesterday we learned that AI agents are multipliers for every marketer. And so this frees us to have our time back to be creative, to be makers again. But in order for that to happen, the tools that we have need to change. Data can no longer just power humans reading reports. It needs to power autonomous agents. We need to be able to have an infinite scale for personalization that's no longer limited by the amount of pieces that your team can create. Every conversation needs to be two-way and agentic. You can't just be limited to one-way outreach. And to help us scale, we need an agency of AI agents to create and optimize our work. And here, Agentforce Marketing is purpose-built for these shifts, where we have agents as AI multipliers across these 6 areas of innovation. We have agents that automate the creation and the optimization of your campaigns. We reimagine the content supply chain by giving you tools to generate content at infinite scale. We bring two-way conversational marketing to every channel. We unify data and intelligence so that your agents have context to be able to act as an extension of your brand. We push beyond static segments and personalization. And we are expanding marketing planning and ops to be able to orchestrate human and AI teams working together as one. So the best part about this is every Marketing Cloud customer today is an Agentforce marketing customer. You get access to these tools just by being a Marketing Cloud customer. You can turn it on today and get access through like-for-like additions at no additional cost and pay as you grow. It extends the investments that you already have. It's built on what you have, and it includes built-in bridges that connect your existing experiences to next-gen capabilities. And you can unlock immediate value with things like upgraded integrated reporting, the journey decisioning agent, and a whole host of out-of-box agents that are purpose-built for your marketing teams. Can I have the next slide? So here we are to unpack your Agentforce marketing advantage, tailor-made for your business. This is where the news you can use comes in. So for a B2C team, we're going to teach you how to make every campaign agentic. For B2B teams out there, we are going to teach you how to turn buyer signals into revenue faster than ever before. And for everyone here, your Customer 360 advantage is how we combine data, apps, our platform, and AI to bring it all together. So please join me in welcoming Abby Spawns to the stage to unpack your B2C advantage.
Thank you, Eric. I have been building products for marketers at Salesforce for 13 years. I'm from Indianapolis, where ExactTarget was founded, and I can honestly say the moment ahead is the most exciting one yet, because it's about innovation built on your existing foundation. What if your existing campaigns could become agentic without rebuilding anything? For all of the Marketing Cloud engagement customers in the room, think of everything you've already built. You have years of customer context that already lives in the system. This opportunity isn't about starting over, but about harnessing all of that. When I talk to marketers, I hear a lot about AI mandates. AI is changing the way we work, and there is immense pressure to adopt and show value from it. But marketers cite operationalizing AI as the #1 challenge they face. So maybe this sounds a little too good to be true. We're going to break it down for you. With Agentforce Marketing, you get a team of agents purpose-built for marketing, ready to go from day one, to help you with everything from generating campaigns to personalizing recommendations and offers. We're going to go through step-by-step how you leverage these agents alongside your existing investments to power Agentforce Marketing. This is how you unlock your B2C advantage in whatever order or timeline makes sense for you. Bring your journeys and content, no rebuilding required. Add agents to every channel to make them a two-way conversation instead of a one-way send. View all of your performance in one place, no stitching reports together required. Create, manage, and optimize campaigns right in Slack, where your team already operates. Same data, same campaigns, new way of working. One brand building this out right now is Pearson Education, the world's lifelong learning company. They're moving away from siloed data and complex business units towards reimagined campaigns with unified AI, data, and workflows, all powered by one scalable engine. And they're breaking down departmental silos with a smarter, more connected marketing organization. Let's see this in action with a demo. Shout out to my amazing demo drivers, Kristen and Steve, over in the booth. All right, here we have a professor. We're going to see his experience on the Pearson website talking to an agent as he prepares for the upcoming semester. Now, this isn't his first time here. He's already been exploring new curriculum for his next class and ordered a sample. But it's summer vacation, and he needs that sample sent to his home address, not his office. Thankfully, the agent can help. It understands the natural language of that question, it has access to his past transactions, and can go ahead and make that update for him. But the conversation's not going to end there. This agent is seamlessly connected across service and marketing. It's able to use this opportunity to identify and recommend a digital learning platform to pair nicely with that curriculum. This signal is going to make its way back to the Pearson team. Let's see how they build out his next experience. All right, here we are in Agentforce Marketing in the Marketing Cloud Next Edition. The Pearson team already has a campaign built targeting educators not yet subscribed to a digital platform. As part of that campaign, they can bring in journeys and content that's already live and running, along with mapped-in consent signals and SMS numbers, so there's one single source of truth regardless of where they're sending from. We're going to open up an email to see how you can start to access the amazing capabilities you know and love right inside this experience. Now, we can't talk about email without talking about AmpScript. I love AmpScript. I have built AmpScript functions, and I'm thrilled to share with you, you can use AmpScript right here. You can see it on the screen, already pulling in that personalization. Now, this is a new use case. We're targeting educators not yet subscribed, and we haven't yet mapped in the subject the educator teaches with their profile. Traditionally, this would require a marketer go talk to their technical team, which would take a whole bunch of work to make that data actually usable in this campaign. Not anymore. Now we can activate it immediately within this experience thanks to marketing objects. All right, we've got our super personalized message, but we can take this a step further, because who you target and how you target them should be just as adaptive as the message itself. We're going to hop over to Flow, where we build our marketing automation. We're going to put together two different paths. The first one's targeting the broader audience. This is the group that Pearson wants to re-engage with, and they already have a bunch of journeys to do that. We can add an agent to automatically identify the best journey for each individual and inject them in it. This is something I have heard requests for years. On the other side, we've got our highly engaged educators. These are the ones that are most likely to convert, so the Pearson team wants to build a different experience for them. We've already got our channel preference in place, and under email, you can see that message we just put together. We want to make this a two-way conversation. That's already configured for SMS and WhatsApp. We're going to add it for email. We add an event and connect an agent. So now, when someone gets that email and responds to it, they're automatically connected to an agent. We just made every channel a two-way conversation and used an agent to optimize existing campaigns. All right, let's revisit Pearson. Some time has passed, and the team is ready to engage with our professor on his preferred channel, which is email. So he gets that message we were working on. And what do you know? He's a marketing professor, which we can see from the personalization here. Now, he gets this email, and he's got a question. He's curious how this digital learning platform compares to the material he already has. So he responds to the email, and the agent is able to help him out. It, again, has the context. It understands what he's asking, has the specific material that was recommended to him, and his past transactions. It can compare and contrast them in the response, along with offering to connect him to a Pearson specialist if he has more questions. We just agentified journeys and content and personalized this message with data from two platforms. This is how you operationalize AI. Now, the Pearson team has one more step. They need to prove the value from this. That's where unified intelligence comes in. So you can see attribution across every touch point and every channel. No more guesswork involved in what's contributing to those subscribers for digital learning platforms. And what do you know? Looks like emails up and to the right. Now, the team doesn't just care about one campaign or one point in time. They want lifelong learners. So they're always thinking about how to continue to engage with this audience. Again, they've got a journey for this. They have an onboarding journey that's been running. They want to ask the analytics agent to see how it's performing. Now, that analytics agent is going to flag that there's actually a drop-off in engagement happening. The team's going to take it to Slack to discuss. After talking it through, they realize that there's an underperforming email in that journey. This part's really cool. They can ask Slackbot to make this update for them. Slackbot already has the context of the journey they're talking about and is able to replace the email right away for them right from here. Isn't that amazing? This is how we leverage our existing investments to power Agentforce marketing, thanks to innovation like marketing MCP server for MCE, with Slackbot, what we just saw, to optimize campaigns. We've got unified reporting and analytics to see how everything's performing, identify insights, and drive action. We've got consent mapping, so there's one source of truth regardless of where you're sending from, and AMP script and marketing objects to drive personalization wherever your data is, whatever it looks like. Now, I've got deep roots with B2C, but the next-gen platform we just walked through it's not unique to B2B, B2C marketers. To help walk us through the advantage for B2B is a B2B marketer herself, Neha Shah.
Thank you, Abby. And hi, everyone. So like many of you, I live and breathe B2B marketing every day. I am seeing the agentic shift to buying journey firsthand. But the good news, every marketer in this room, that is all of you, have the advantage to lead this change. We know agents are transferring and transitioning the buying journey significantly. Buyers are driving self-directed research and are moving faster than ever before. In fact, the boundaries and lines between marketing and sales are blurring. They must act as one, and we are building our product with that mindset. Because a lot of teams, as you know, are still operating in silos. Only 26% of marketers are truly satisfied with how marketing and sales connect. But it doesn't have to stay that way. We have agents who can help us bridge those gaps by giving sales and marketing a unified shared view of every buyer. And when both sides see the same thing, they finally move as one. So here is how you can unlock your B2B advantage. And it is simple to get started with. First, add an AI SDR agent by qualified on your website. The agent interacts with your high-intent prospects immediately as soon as they visit your website and drives pipeline around the clock, even at 2 a.m. when rest of us are asleep. Second, leverage your existing content and email as a starting point for your agentic campaigns. And then you can extend those campaigns with additional channels like SMS and WhatsApp. Third, use agent to build segments in minutes by just describing them in plain language. And when marketing and sales finally starts to see shared insight and shared assets, the handoff stops becoming a handoff. It becomes this one unified motion. And a company that's doing this well right now is NextGen Healthcare. NextGen Healthcare is truly redefining how healthcare buyers buy. They are turning their anonymous web visits into real-time conversation, intent into engagement, follow-up into pipeline. And the early results are hard to ignore. $18.9 million in pipeline generated by an AI SDR agent. Now, let that number sink in while we watch this in action with a demo. So when a buyer visits NextGen Healthcare's website, they are greeted by Eli, an AI SDR agent powered by Qualified. Now, Eli engages the buyers, answers questions, and provides solution in real time. Here, the healthcare executive is looking for clinical AI solutions. Now, Eli is multimodal. That means every buyer can have a conversation with it. So I'm going to play the voice of the buyer here.
Hi, how can I help you?
Hi, Eli. Our doctors are looking to save time on documentation so they can focus more on patients. Does NextGen have a solution to help us?
Absolutely. We do have a solution for that. Our clinical AI helps reduce documentation time and clinician burnout. How are your doctors currently managing their workflow today?
Eli knows exactly what information to surface and provides the right information because it knows the website inside out. But as a buyer, I want to know more information, so I'm going to ask, Eli, can you tell me more about pricing?
Pricing is highly dependent on each customer's unique situation. I can help with that. What's the best email to use?
Eli knows pricing means high intent, so it's capturing email address right here.
Thanks for sharing that. Please hold on a moment. Got it. Could you type your email address into the chat messenger for accuracy?
Eli can take this information and set up a meeting.
Let's get you connected with our team. You can book a meeting right here. Feel free to pick a time that works best for you.
And just like that, Eli has booked the meeting. So now this conversation just didn't book a meeting, but it also generated real intent data that marketers can use within the campaign. And the best part, you don't have to start from scratch. You can continue email nurture on Qualified or leverage your existing email with an account engagement. So here, you can pick an existing email from account engagement and add it to Marketing Cloud Next campaign. Now, this is very interesting because the traditional email nurture just got a huge upgrade. What started off as a traditional email nurture campaign can now be extended to additional channels, and you guessed it right, SMS, WhatsApp, and more. So now we have our content, so let's build a segment. And we want to target high-intent buyers who have been engaging with us on our website. In the past, this would take an analyst and few days of data wrangling. But now, you can just describe the segment, and agent can build it for us, pulling all the data across the business. Let's look at the data agent is pulling here. It's getting the email engagement data, the website activity, CRM activity, data from past sales conversation, and our segment is ready. So now we have our campaign running for some time. So let's check with our sales team in terms of how they are prioritizing leads. Now, every marketer in this room knows this moment. Historically, this is where handoff breaks down. Marketing generates engagement, but the right insights don't make it to the sales team. But now Hunter, our new prospecting agent, continuously prioritizes in terms of who are the top prospects to focus on. So here, Hunter is pulling hot new leads from marketing, as well as some of the leads that sales hasn't reached out to, and putting it in a prioritized list. And when sales is ready to scale engagement across these top prospects, they can just assign it to Hunter. Hunter nurtures them and even books a meeting through a prioritized outreach. And Hunter does this without a Monday morning motivational email. So now sales has all of this engagement, but they also have the full relationship insight on this buyer and account from connected data from CRM, all of customer data from Data 360, as well as external web and data. And then when they're ready to scale one-on-one outreach, they can just use marketing approved template right within their workflow. In just a few clicks, they can make edits and really prioritize based on all the insights from buyer journey so far, while maintaining brand standard, as well as aligned messaging with marketing. And all of this engagement data is pulled together into this unified intelligence layer. You know what that means? That means marketing and sales can get full insights in terms of how buyers across accounts are engaging from opportunity to close deals. That also means you can see total pipeline value by account to ensure your ABM efforts are on track. And finally, marketing and sales can connect engagement to true business outcomes. And that is the power of agentic B2B marketing. So we just saw all the great innovation today. And everything that you saw today is tailored for B2B marketers, and it is GA right now. Like the AI SDR agent by Qualified. The Hunter, our new prospecting agent. Agentic segmentation. Out-of-the-box dashboard with ABM insights. And distributed marketing and alerts. And all of this is designed to do one thing: turn buyer insights into pipeline faster. So you just saw how you can unlock your B2C and B2B advantage. So whether you are a Marketing Cloud engagement customer or account engagement customer, we have onboarding guides to get you started today. And to hear more how customers are unlocking their B2B, their Marketing Cloud advantage, please join me in welcoming Allison Weinstein.
All right, thank you, Neha. And can we give it up for our speakers so far? How great have they been? You all rock. And what's up, party people? Are we having fun? I am having the best time. And do you know why? It's because this isn't theoretical anymore. This is real. This is happening, and it's happening today. And we're going to hear it directly from marketers that are delivering this vision for their brands. So I want to introduce my friends, Tim and Rachel, to join me so we can hear directly from them about how they're transforming their businesses. Good morning. Thanks for being here. I have Tim Payton joining me from Pearson, who runs global marketing operations. Thank you so much for being here, Tim.
Great to be here.
And Rachel Britnell, who runs growth marketing at NextGen Healthcare.
Hello.
Thanks so much for being here. We're so excited to talk to you today and get to learn a little bit about how you're transforming marketing. So Tim, I want to start with you. You've been a Marketing Cloud engagement customer for 10 plus years, like many of you in this room. And you're transforming the role of marketing within your organization by leveraging agentic marketing. Can you talk to me about the journey you're on?
Sure. When we launched our new marketing and communications organization last year, we were hyper-focused on how we could ignite growth for the company. And when we talked about how we needed to do that, we realized that iteration wasn't going to be enough. We needed to leapfrog. And what leapfrog really means for us is, how do we shift our focus from campaigns to a focus on outcomes and customers? What are the outcomes that we need to do to drive growth? Things like pipeline and conversions and revenue. And who are the most important customers that we need to touch to do that? And how do we better understand the journeys that they're on so we can create better experiences that create a good experience for them, but also help drive our outcomes? And to do that, that was the conversation that we had first. We didn't start talking about technology. We said, what are we trying to accomplish? And then we thought about what technology we needed to do that. And we needed to expand the use of tools. So what we're doing now is we're starting with a foundation of Data 360 to enable customer segmentation so we can identify those high-value audiences, and also establish a foundation for personalized marketing and for Agentforce agents to help people on their journeys and drive our outcomes. Now, we're just getting started on our journey. I'd love to talk to people who are a little bit further along. I'd love to come back next year, too, and talk about how we're doing, but we're super excited about our direction.
Did you hear that? Sounds like we have a speaker for next year. I love this. And what's exciting to me is that you've been on this journey with us for so long. And Pearson is a company of lifelong learners. And your marketers are the same way. And now you have the creativity, you're makers. And you're redesigning what the customer experience can be as well. Can you tell me about what you're doing there?
Sure. So you saw a little preview of our educator agent. Some of our customers are college professors. They come to our website looking for products that they might use in their courses. And we have a very large catalog. So having an agent help guide them through the product discovery process, help them immediately get access to a sample that they can consider for use in their courses, is improving their journey. And when they get that sample, that generates an MQL for our sales team. So that's driving one of our key outcomes. So that's an example of how we can use creativity and agents to drive a great customer experience and also outcomes for Pearson.
I love how you keep mentioning outcomes. I think so many of us in the room are marketers, but we also drive growth and real outcomes. And the idea that you're pulling together creativity, agents, and outcomes all together to drive real results for Pearson is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing.
Sure.
Rachel, I want to ask you a few questions. So in next-gen healthcare, you have so many different specialties that you focus on, which means tons of different buyers. So discovery looks totally different now. Tell me what's going on.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Healthcare buying journeys are incredibly complex, and at NextGen, we serve 37 different types of specialties. So the way that a behavioral health therapist evaluates technology and practices care is very differently than, let's say, an orthopedic surgeon or an ophthalmologist. But no matter the specialties, one thing has fundamentally changed about the buyers that we serve, and that is how they discover and engage with solutions. I'm going to throw a stat out that blew my mind, but Gartner research tells us that buyers are completing roughly 70% of their buying journey before they ever engage with sales. 70%. That means that most of the influence is happening digitally or on their own research. So through,
It's changing the way people are online looking at the brand and interacting.
Content consumption. And so that made us think very differently here at NextGen. And so we really stopped treating every journey and account the same, and instead really tried to show up at the right time, the right place with the right content. And that's exactly one of the ways we're doing that is Eli. So you guys just saw Eli. How awesome is he? He is an amazing part of our team. He's awesome. So Eli is able to personalize that conversation and content based on who is coming to our website. And then not only that, but follow up with an AI email based on how that conversation went. And so those results, you guys saw it on that slide, but $18.9 million in pipeline just this last year. And that really makes up about 30,000 different conversations that he had and 1,000 meetings booked through that meeting booker. So amazing.
That's awesome. I mean, there's nothing better than being able to tie what we're doing with real results. And it sounds like you're seeing all of those amazing achievements through Eli. We should all go check out Eli, I think. Absolutely awesome. But just like we heard from Tim, it's also changing the way your marketers are thinking about what they can do. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, that actually, the stat that they showed, the 26% of sales and marketing feel like they're still very siloed. We've been on that journey, and I think for the first time, just in this last year, we feel connected and as one team, and you saw it on some of those dashboards, but we are able to really stop the static campaigns and sales doing one thing, SDRs doing another, but we're really coming together through this orchestrated engagement. So knowing their buyer journey and their stage allows us all to work certain accounts in different ways, but with the same goal. So it's been amazing.
I just love this so much. So just to like think about it for a minute, about what we just heard. You know, Pearson, you are an Agentforce marketing customer. NextGen, you're an Agentforce marketing customer. You are redefining the customer experience, and you're creating an environment for your marketers to do their best work. You're really redefining what it means in this day and age to be a marketer. And I'm so pleased to hear the stories that you're having because, like I said initially, it's not a theory. This is actually happening, and brands like NextGen and Pearson are taking it to life. So thank you so much. Final question. I clearly have a lot of energy. I'm very excited about being here. But what's the most exciting thing for you? Tim, I'll start with you.
I would say the most exciting thing is it seems like the future is here.
Yeah, I love that. Rachel?
I think AI, just seeing all of the different sessions here, what we're doing is phenomenal, but I really think we've only tipped the surface at what's even possible, so that excites me so much about the future.
Yeah, and you all are pushing us, which is exactly what we want. Like, help us together co-create the future of what marketing is going to be, and let's go. Let's get there. All right, well, thank you all so much. I appreciate that. All right, can we give it up for them? That's amazing. All right, and now, final chapter. My buddy Praz is going to take us through it.
Thank you so much, Allison. Good morning, everyone. I will tell you they save the best for last, but I'm a very biased person. We'll start off with a little thought exercise. What if every interaction you had with the brand could be your best experience? Marketers, we're present in every part of the customer relationship, whether that's discovery, it's purchase, or it's loyalty, bringing it back up again. And agents, they're also along for that ride with us. They're personalizing experiences, they're shaping decisions, but they're also increasingly becoming extensions of your brand. In fact, 86% of marketers have told us that AI has fundamentally changed how consumers are engaging with brands. And that is why the Customer 360 is now more important than ever before. So you saw in the previous chapter us talk about marketing and sales working together. In this chapter, you're going to see marketing, commerce, and service. Marketers, you are defining what the experience is across all of these agentic touch points. And the context is what's going to make that possible for you. Context is what we use to help an agent understand your brand, your customer, and your business. Is what we use to help agents personalize every interaction. We turn every channel into a two-way conversation. But it also means that as you have handoff between your different teams, we can bring the context along with that as well too. This is how we turn agents into your best brand ambassadors. This is exactly the type of agentic experience that Benbridge is building towards. Benbridge is a luxury jewelry retailer, and for over a century, they've been known for crafting these amazing personalized in-store experiences. But so much of their customer data and history, it lived in these disconnected systems, and it made it really hard for them to scale those same personal experiences outside of their store. But now that they're unifying their customer data, they can get to a world of real-time clienteling, where they can start to craft these personal experiences in other channels. BenBridge wants every agentic experience to feel like you're working with your own personal jeweler. And I'd love to show you a story, a demo based on their story. So we're going to start off inside our unified brand center. Inside here, my team's brought some things I might need. It's got my assets, it's got some templates and product information. But folks, what's important here is what we're doing with brand. This is our brand voice we're defining in here, our brand tone, visual identity. Everything related to who we are as a brand is defined in here. And this is important because this is a unified layer for any agentic interaction. That's right, I said any. Now let's preview how that brand voice carries forward into the different channels and agents. And whether that's an SMS or an RCS, it could be conversational search, or it could be a post-service engagement. All of that is going to be grounded in the BenBridge expertise because of what we're setting up in here. And now that we've got our brand set up, why don't we put it into action? So the BenBridge team is getting ready to launch a luxury watch collection. They're going to start off in the Pacific Northwest. They're going to target some high-value customers. Instead of starting from scratch, they turn to Agentforce marketing. Specifically, the Agentforce content agent. You might have seen this yesterday in the keynote. It's in pilot. And what they're going to do, they're going to start off by picking up a campaign brief. You'll have them. They lie around in your PDF docs and Word docs there. The campaign brief in this case for us was made by the marketing goals agent. You also saw that little sneak peek of that yesterday. That's also in pilot. The campaign brief has everything we need to get our content agent going. It's got audience, it's got timing, it's got budget. And that is really important for what comes next, which is, drum roll please, and I'm doing my own drum roll because I didn't get a sound effects budget this year. For what comes next, which is, and I'll give it a second here, channel-ready content. And this is a big deal. This is not generic. All the content that you just see generated here for our email and RCS, all of this is grounded in the BenBridge content and brand. And now that we have our content ready, let's talk about customer relationships. We know that no two customer relationships are alike. And traditionally, this is the part as marketers where we sit down and we start to personalize these offers by channel, by segment, by subsegment. A, it's not fun, and B, it just doesn't scale. What if instead our offers and experiences could be personalized based on customer behavior and intent? And you'll see as we cycle our way through the different offers, these are being fed and triggered based on real-time customer behavior and intent. Now that you've seen what this looks like as we set up this campaign, why don't we look and see what it looks like on the other side as a consumer? So it just so happens I'm in the market for a new watch. And if you've spoken to my wife, you'll know that I'm perpetually in the market for a new watch. I start to browse this site, and the shopper agent is starting to help me out here. It's asking me some questions. I'm looking for a watch, something I can wear every day, a little go anywhere, do anything sort of kind of watch. And as I start to work my way through the options in here, it's going to show me a few things. Let's see. I like that first one. Let's keep scrolling. Oh, those are not bad. I think, listen, the first one is what does it for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm a sucker for that first one. But listen, I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm a recovering millennial, and I can't make big purchases on my phone. So I go to find my laptop, and I got small kids, so I might get distracted along the way. Now, this buying signal, this intent signal, might have been lost to BenBridge. But remember, we set up that in-store invitation with the trigger. And so I receive an invitation to go to the in-store event. Now, why don't we continue the customer journey, my journey, if you will, back inside Agentforce marketing. Here, you can see everything that's happened. This is the C360. This is my purchase behavior, my browsing intent, that in-store invitation, and spoiler alert, I went to the store, and it was really hard to say no to the watch once it was on my wrist, so I bought it. But the experience doesn't end here for BenBridge. Afterwards, I receive a personalized RCS message. You notice I said RCS, not SMS. RCS is new. It's interactive. It's got personalization. It's got direct access to support. It's a new level of interactivity marketers that you can tap into. And remember, every channel is a two-way channel. So as I start to customize and ask questions because, I naturally want a new strap for the watch I just bought, it's going to connect me to the service rep, the expert over at Benbridge. And the context of what I bought, the conversation I'm having, why I'm having this conversation, goes over to the service rep. And as nice as that experience is for me as a consumer, it's just as seamless for the service rep back in their service console. So instead of having these disconnected experiences across commerce, marketing, and service, Benbridge can now stitch together this seamless experience across the entire customer journey. Now, you've just seen what Benbridge is building towards. I'd love to have a conversation with Eddie Delick, who leads digital experiences at Benbridge. Eddie, so you've known for these amazing in-store experiences. Can you tell us a little bit how Agentforce Marketing is helping you create and scale those experiences outside of your stores?
Absolutely. So one of the things that Benbridge pride ourselves on is the storytelling aspect of it. That's really a key part of our whole brand experience. And so, whether it's the customer, story of what's leading them to buy this purchase, it's a life event of some sort, etc., or a milestone, or if it's the story about the piece itself, the origin of it, the brand story, etc. And so this is what's actually exciting for us and what the agents allow us to do now, is it allows us to take the notes of the profile and then be able to match that to the brand story, and then be able to create a personalized experience, a hyper-personalized experience really, on at the deeper level, post-purchase, and to follow up on to the customer. And so we can even go down to that serial number level, for instance, and then even go, well, these are the watchmakers that potentially handmade this watch for you. And so that's what's really exciting for us. And this is something we've been trying to solve for years. And so now it's actually quite easy for us because it's all in one place.
I'm astounded. I'm excited for this part of the journey for you. Can you tell us a little bit, as you start to merge together this unified understanding of who a customer is with this rich history in your brand, what does it unlock for Benbridge?
So one thing we really pride ourselves is that we are your personal jeweler for life. And so we have associates that have, maintained connections for up to 50 years with families, okay, because it's multi-generational. And so this actually unlocks a lot for us, because what it does is we can now see everything from the in-store appointments and which products we were presented during that experience. We can see the events that you're interested in, your browsing interests. We can also see, your email engagement. And then even to the point where we can actually go and see the social media post that maybe you clicked on and viewed 3 weeks ago that influenced the actual purchase. And so this is super exciting for us to see it all in a single window pane, and we don't have to click around to different systems.
Excellent. Eddie, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you for sharing the story with us. We're so excited to see what's next for Benbridge, and thank you for being an Agentforce Marketing customer.
Thank you.
Folks, you just saw what's possible when agents can share that common context. And I'm so excited to make 2 quick announcements for you here today. We have the Marketing Goals Agent. You saw it help us out with that campaign brief, but it's so much more than that. It can self-optimize campaigns based on the marketer's goals and your guidelines. We also have the Content Agent. It worked off that brief to help us make that channel-ready content that was grounded in the brand and what we defined. We also have our Unified Brand Center. This is where we set up the voice for who we are as a brand, our visual identity that carried forward into how we do our content. We also have our retail triggers. These are behavioral triggers. That's what triggered that invitation for me to go to that in-store event. We also have RCS, Rich Communication Services. Not SMS, a whole new level of interactivity in this messaging channel. And to round it out, we have our real-time offer management. These are offers and experiences that are triggered based on customer behavior and intent. Behind all of these amazing marketing experiences are marketing innovations that are built for the next era of marketing. And with that, I'd like to welcome back to the stage Eric to close us on out.
Thank you, Praz, and thank you, Eddie, for coming down here and sharing that story with us today. So today we covered 3 things to help you unlock your Agentforce marketing advantage. For B2C marketers, we taught you how you can take your existing campaigns and make them truly agentic. For B2B marketers, we taught you how to turn buyer signals into pipeline faster than ever before. And for everyone in the audience, we taught you how your Customer 360 advantage comes together to give context to your agents so that they can truly act as an extension of your brand. And what we showed you today is just a slice of the more than 250 innovations that our team has built since the last time we were on stage with you here at Connections. And we're accelerating. So next year, mark my words, we're going to put a magnifying glass in your swag bag in order to read this slide. But our relationship with you is bigger than any one feature. It's about preparing you for what's next and building that future together with you. So please pull out your phones because I have two things to ask of you. The first is we've put together a little agenda, a little serving suggestion of how you can learn more about the capabilities that you saw here this morning. So for B2B, B2C, or general marketers, there's an agenda here of capabilities you can catch today still or later online on Salesforce Plus. And while you have your phones out, please do give us feedback on these sessions. We use the feedback that we collect here to help us prioritize the roadmap, to help us improve our pitch, even down to whether or not I get to wear a tie this year. So I want to say thank you to all of you in the community. We, from us at Agentforce Marketing, we are so delighted to bring this future to you. Thank you very much.